What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be teaching you how to fish the Texas rig. First off, what I want you guys to do is please leave a comment down below telling me what kind of videos you guys want to see. Do you guys want to see more informative videos like this one's going to be, where I teach you how to use different lures, explain like the seasonal behaviors of bass? Or do you want to see more videos like the last two where I'm basically just fishing with commentary? Because I want to keep making videos. I do want to help people fish and know how to fish, because when I first started fishing, I didn't know what I was doing. There was so much knowledge, and there is still a lot of knowledge for myself to learn. But if you guys could please do that, that would be awesome. Secondly, if you guys do like this video and it does help, please give this video a thumbs up. And if you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button and become a supporter of my channel. I do so greatly appreciate it. Let's talk about gear selection. When it comes to rods, I like to use a 7'2" medium heavy fast action rod. I like that medium heavy power because I do find with the Texas rig, you have to put a little back muscle into it to set the hook. And also, you can use these specs on the Texas rig for jigs as well. This is actually a jig rod, and I use it for the Texas rig, and it works just as well. I love it. I love this rod so much. I'm actually thinking about buying another jig rod so I can have one with a jig tied on and one with the Texas rig tied on. Now, reel selection, that's just personal preference for me. I like to use a 7.5-to-1 gear ratio because when I set the hook on a fish, I want to reel that fish in as quickly as I can. Now, line. I actually have straight fluorocarbon tied on here, 12-pound fluorocarbon. You can use anywhere, I heard people use anywhere from 10 to 20-pound fluorocarbon when it comes to a Texas rig, but I like that 12-pound. The reason being is where I fish, grass and vegetation in ponds really isn't a huge issue, so I can actually get away with 12-pound. Now, if I am fishing an area that has a lot of grass and vegetation, then I will probably go up to about maybe 15-16 pounds of fluorocarbon. Hooks, I like to use a Gamakatsu 3/0 EWG hook. I do find myself sometimes using a 2/0 hook in more finesse situations, but I do like the 3/0 a lot better, more so because I feel that I can actually get a better hook set with a 3/0 than I do a 2/0. Bullet weights, it depends on what the depth is that you're fishing. Ponds around here, they're shallow, so I'm usually going to be fishing an 1/8 to 1/4 ounce, more so 1/4 ounce. And from there, just depends on the depth that you're fishing. If we're fishing like 10 to 15 feet of water, I'd put on a 3/8 ounce bullet weight. I just want to clarify again that everything I talk about in this video in terms of gear selection and lure selection is just my personal preference. It's what I feel works best for me. It could be totally different for you, for all I know. It's all about experimenting with what you have, knowing how to use it. Because, for example, what I would say is whenever I first started using the Texas rig, I would keep getting bites with it, and I would go to set the hook and I couldn't set the hook. I would have a fish and I would lose it. My power was a lot lighter than what I have now. I was using around a medium power, and I was missing some here, I was missing some there. It was 50-50. And then I upgraded to a medium heavy rod, and my hook set has become a lot better, and I've been landing a lot more fish. Let's talk about lures and lure colors. We're gonna start off with lure color, because that is a huge one for me. I was told one time that lure colors catch more people than they do fish, and I am a firm believer in that. I would find myself spending so much money on 20 different colors of lures and only found myself using 3 colors, because those are the only 3 that work for me. I'm actually going to break this down in terms of water clarity. There's 3 categories of water clarity. There's clear, stained, and muddy. In clear water, I actually like to use your natural colors. So there's 3 colors I use: watermelon, green pumpkin, and white. And you can even go off the rails a little bit and add in those little tiny bits of secondary colors. So actually what I have on right now is a green pumpkin candy, which is sparkles of like purple and teal and yellow. Watermelon red flake is another really good one. When it comes to stained water, I like to use your natural colors mixed with brighter colors. So in the first video, I was using that green pumpkin and chartreuse dead worm, and it was catching fish. Yeah, sure, the fish were dinks, whatever. But that's the type of colors that I'm looking for in stained. Natural mixed with bright. Muddy water, and when I mean muddy, I mean like that chocolate milk type of water. Only 3 colors: black and blue, black, and black with red flake. Those are the only 3 colors you need when it comes to chocolate milk water. And those colors you don't just have to apply to a Texas rig. You can apply those colors to all lures in the world of bass fishing. I mean, they work for everything. I usually find myself using 2 types of lures, and those are Senkos and your crawfish type lures. The perfect type of Senko that I like to use is actually a Strike King KVD Ocho worm. I actually have a 4-inch on there right now, and I have a 6-inch in my tackle box. But I want to use, if you want bigger bass, go with the 6-inch. I have the 4-inch tied on now because I know there's barely any big fish in the pond next to me. So that's why I'm using a 4-inch worm, because they're less likely gonna grab a 6-inch worm that's twice their size. And your crawdad like lures, I love the Strike King Rage Tails. I absolutely love using those on a Texas rig. I'm gonna put the GoPro on the chest now so I can show you the ways I like to fish the Texas rig. There are so many ways you can fish this technique. It's unbelievable how many ways you can fish this, but there's only 2 ways I find it to be more effective to fish. One thing I forgot to mention was everything I talk about in this video, I will leave in a link in the description below, so it's a lot easier for you to access, so you don't have to have a notebook and pencil and write everything down. Now I'm going to show you how to rig up a Texas rig. First off, forgive my hands, I know they're rough and black, but I'm a car mechanic, so just bear with me. So see right where the hook starts to bend at that 90 degrees right there? You're going to stick your worm or your Senko through the point of the hook and stop right at that 90 degrees. From there, you're just going to poke it through like that, slide the worm onto the hook, and up the eyelet. Oh, I went too far. Up the eyelet, like that. So it should look like that. Now you want your worm to be straight. This might be a little difficult because I've already used this worm on a couple fish, so it's a little torn. Probably should have used a new worm, but I'm running low, so I have what I have here. You want your worm to be straight. So right where the hook bends at the 90 degrees, where it intersects with the worm, you're going to poke your hook through that area. So I actually marked that with my thumb. You're going to poke it through, and now it's straight. Now, you could just fish it like this if you want, but I like to make it a little bit more weedless. So what I do is I just take the worm and stick the barb of the hook through the worm a little bit, so that point of the hook is not exposed. And there you go. Now your Texas rig is all rigged up. All right, so the first way I like to fish this is I actually like to reel it in. Cast it out there, let it sink, and I just like to, oh my god, okay. Well, that was quick. Anyway, oh, okay, never mind. I still do have the fish. I actually still do have the fish. Okay, well, they're just dinks, like I said before. Oi. Get you back in the water. Okay, let's try this again. The first way I like to fish this is I cast it out there. That was kind of a terrible cast. And I like to, oh my gosh, are you kidding me? Just take it. Having second thoughts there, bud? Yes, he was. Anyways, 3rd time's the charm. You cast it out there. You let it sink to the bottom, and you just start reeling it. That's all you do. You're basically just swimming the worm. And you can actually buy worms for this purpose. They have a little paddle tail on them. Now, might work best for this, but I haven't bought any. But I've been catching fish on just this worm alone, so it's fine. But every now and then, as I'm reeling it, I like to give it a twitch. That's the first way I like to fish this. So the second way I like to fish it is the textbook standard of how to fish a Texas rig. You cast it out there, let it sink to the bottom, and you just let it sit there. You just dead stick it. Let it sit there a couple seconds, and then you give it a little bit of a pop, reel down your slack, dead stick it, pop, and you keep doing that until you fish it all the way back to the bank. Now, where do you cast this lure? Well, right now we are still technically in spring, but it's late spring. These fish are now in post spawn, so they're starting to make their way down to the deeper area of this water. Right here it's about 6 feet. All the way down there, I think it's about at least 10 feet deep. So, but you still are going to have the male fish guard their spawn. So they're going to be up along the banks here. And yeah, I got the fish over there. You're going to have the few stragglers, whatever. So cast it out there. Let it sink to the bottom. Sit there. Let it sit there a couple seconds. Let the fish hear. Oh. Got one. Just another baby. Just another little guy. Come on. Get off the rock. So, like I said, right now these fish are in post spawn, so they're going to be tucked along the banks, close to the banks, and their best friend is structure. So see this high grass? That is perfect for bass right now. Oh my gosh, that's perfect. That makes them happy. All right, we're going to release this guy. See you, buddy. Ooh, someone forgot a jig. Actually, I think that just washed up because the hook is gone. I mean, the hook is literally wire thin. Actually looks like a Strike King bitsy bug. I actually have a couple of those. I wish I could use that, but I'm going to clean it up and trash it. The most important thing, and this isn't on the Texas rig, this is just about fishing in general. The most important thing is you have to learn how to fish the fishery you're at. I've been to this pond probably almost 100 times by now. I know what to look for. I know where I'm at. I know where I'm casting my line. I know, for example, when I cast my line over here, right in front of me, right where I'm pointing, there's actually a rock probably, I don't know, 20 yards out from me. And because I've learned that because I got hung up and I lost a lure there. But that's the thing about fishing. If you want to catch more fish, there's two things you have to know. A, what the season is and what those behaviors of those bass are around this time of year. And B, you have to know the layout of the fishery you're at. When I first started fishing, it was hard. I couldn't catch anything. My boss at work would be catching fish left and right, and then he would ask me how my day at the lake was, and I'll be like, I didn't get anything. And it didn't make me angry, but it got me frustrated. It got me to thinking, what am I doing wrong? And it's because I was so ignorant when it came to fishing that I didn't realize I have to know that the behaviors of bass change during the seasons and they go into different areas of the water you're fishing at. So like I told you, during springtime, bass like to stay up shallow. Pre-spawn, they're all over the shallows. They stick to the deeper, where the drop off for the deeper water is at, and they all scatter around to any types of structures they could find in the shallows. Pre-spawn is the best time to catch fish, in my opinion. I mean, during pre-spawn, they like to stay where the water drops off towards the deep, and they like to stick to the cover any cover that they could find in the shallows. I mean, it doesn't matter. You can cast here, there, across the entire pond, and you can catch a fish during pre-spawn, as long as you know what the layout of your pond is, of your lake, of your river, anything. As long as you know where key structures are, you can catch fish. So today it's like 93 degrees. I'm not gonna lie, it's hotter than Vladimir Putin riding a grizzly bear shirtless. These bass right now are starting to make their way down to the deep end and going to their summer homes. I hope this video was helpful for you. It's my first informative video, so it's not my best one, but like I said, everything I talked about in this video is my personal preference on what works for me, like just everything that works for me, because I was that guy that just struggled at fishing, and now that I'm out here, almost any chance that I can get, I'm out here and I'm learning what to fish. Not just this pond, but anywhere. Like I'm at my confidence level now is I can fish anywhere and catch fish. But anyways, I hope this video was helpful for you. Like I said, please in the comments down below, write what you guys want to see more of. Do you want to see stuff like this? Do you want to see stuff like the other videos I posted? What do you guys want to see? If you like this video and it was helpful, please give that like button a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button for me. If you want to be notified anytime I release a new video, then please get that little bell icon, a little ring-a-ding-ding, so you don't miss out on the latest tricks, hints, tips, and rip and lip from me. Ooh, I kind of like that. Anyways, I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.